All right, what's up, y'all? This is your brother Abraham back again, and tonight, all right, what's up, y'all? And tonight, we can have a. I wanted to have a open discussion. Um, Once again, the Hebrew Israelites, right? The black people of America, the Caribbean, South America, West Africa, all different parts of Africa, scattered all around the four corners of the earth, like the Bible states. We're, back in the in the news again and social media. You know, this happens every so often, and we, people like or very known and famous people like Kyrie Irving and Kanye West, you know, Nick Cannon in the past, and who else? You know, even back in the '90s, you had Whitney Houston, you had Bobby Brown, you had uh, what other famous people back then? Every now and then, black people who are famous decide to, to show who they know that they are, right? And since they're famous and they recognize that they are the Israelites or the Jews of the Bible, you know, that that acknowledgement thrusts, you know, thrusts this, this information or this awakening, back into the media, right? Via online or the news or whatever. Not too long ago, you had some Israelite camps who were, protesting on the steps. I think Washington D.C. with the Covenant school and the Native Americans who were there, and that whole thing. So every now and then, Israelite camps or famous people who come to the acknowledgement that they are not black or African Americans, but in fact that they're Israelites. They this awakening, this acknowledgement or the things that we tend to do thrusts us back, into the cameras, right? And the light is being shined upon Israelites. So anybody, and there are those of us, you know, of this Israelite nation, or you know, or who are black people, they basically, we have different beliefs, right? We have different beliefs. Some believe that we are, descendants from Egyptians. Some believe that, we are just, West Africans, and we got to go back to West Africa and worship the ancestral spirits and stuff that they worship, that our brothers and sisters worship right now on the continent of Africa. And I know we always say West Africa, but we got some of us come from East Africa as well, because the Israelites were scattered all over Africa, mainly, West, South, and East, so, but anyway, then you got some who are Muslims, right? You got some who are, what you call it, Rastas, and, we are all Christians and all different types of religions you can find. Uh, the children of Israel, right? The real children of Israel. Um, yeah, so a lot of us are under different beliefs, and so some of us with platforms, we go out and we Like there was a brother today on YouTube who was basically trying to disprove uh, that black people are Jews, and that this religion is a white man's religion and stuff like that. Like it's not even yeah, and try to say it's a white man's religion, and and that we come from these, like I said, tribes in Africa that worship ancestral spirits and stuff like that. Uh, okay, there's some truth mixed in with ignorance. So you know, if anybody has any questions, about being Israelites or are black people Israelites or what do we really believe, who are the who are these, where do these European people who call themselves Jews, where they come from and stuff like that. You know, you can come on, you can ask questions, you can say your piece or whatever. We can debate, dialogue, we can get into it. But until somebody comes up or comes in, you know, um, I'll just do my reaction on a couple of videos that I saw with Farrakhan. There's a video that Farrakhan put out a video um, saying his part on what he thinks about Kanye West and uh, or Ye, whatever his name is, and Kyrie Irving, what they've been going through. It's another video that I'm going to react to, and it's created by a brother named O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea Duke Jackson is a well-known YouTuber in the Black YouTube space. He's a brother that is trying to build you know a nation of brothers who are doing things for the community and stuff like that, and respect what he's trying to do on the black side of YouTube. And but he created a video that I don't really agree with his points, talking about, you know, why LeBron James went against, you know, Kyrie, and how we shouldn't, you know, that basically they should protect their bag, you know, first, you know, unless there's a real community for that will support them. I have a response to that. You know, I don't believe that, you know, being quiet and staying a house slave for, the financial masters, these European so-called wannabe Jews. I don't believe that that's the only way, right? I believe that you can branch out on your own and protect your assets and still say what you got to say, right? And then the last video will probably be me responding to a video that Kyrie Irving put out himself. You know, um, he said some things inside his, uh, video, which is it's it's quite. It just shows that you can know who you are, but you can still be lacking knowledge. Like you can call yourself an Israelite, but that's the beginning, right? There's a whole lot more, and a lot of times if we don't have proper understanding of the scriptures, or you know or we attach ourselves to certain people, we can like when you first know that you're Israelite, some people like to run to these Israelite camps and not fact checking their belief system, against the scriptures. And so, I think Kyrie didn't fact check his belief system, you know, um, with the scriptures, or maybe he's a person just don't believe fully in the scriptures. Just like with Kanye, he said certain things that he mentioned that these European Russians who claim that who are converted, or who claim themselves as Jews, that they are our brothers. Mm, no, they're not. I don't. They're not Jews, right? And so we're not brothers in that sense, but maybe brothers of the flesh because we all come from Adam and Eve. Yes, So yeah, I just want to touch upon these things. So I want to go through this video with Minister Farrakhan. Like I said, um, whenever I do a open mic video, if anybody's watching, you can come on and we can dialogue. But until then, I'm just going to do my response to certain videos. So let me do that. Mm, let me see. So yeah, we're gonna get into this video with Minister Farrakhan, and we're gonna fast forward. For the most part, I like a lot of things that he said inside this video. Um, you know, um, he mentioned the documentary that Kyrie Irving tweeted, which was Hebrews to Negroes. Um, but you know, I'm gonna give my. I was gonna say it's a lot of mention of what Irving tweeted, but not too much mentioning of the person who created the documentary, which was Ronald Dalton Jr. I would appreciate it, if people with a good platform, of a substantial subscribers, brought them in on their platform. I know people are scared that they might get a video flagged or lose their channel or something like that. But I think you know people should bring Ronald Dalton Jr., who created the documentary, bring him on your platform, and let's hear him debate. These European Russian converted Jews. Let's hear him debate. I want to see them have a sit down. But let's fast forward this video to if I can get this thing to move. All right, what we got here? Let's fast forward to 45 seconds. 45 minutes. I mean, supporting. Let's start from here. And let me see.
Harder and harder because the God of justice has claimed us, Kyrie and Ye and Durant and Barkley and Shaq. We belong to God, not you. Don't try to use us against each other. If they want to talk to any of you, we'll go with you.
So I want to pause it right there. So he mentioned just now, I'm gonna play it again.
If they want to talk to any of you, we'll go with you.
If they, the European converted Jews, right? And I use that word converted lightly because they didn't really convert into real Judaism, you know, the real thing that the Israelites believe or are supposed to believe, because they don't believe in the Messiah. And they read for books that are created by them, that was not created by our ancestors, Moses and the prophets and the apostles or the disciples that followed the Messiah. So this is really their form of Judaism, right? Or this is their own religion, I should say. But anyway, so he said that, you know, let me see that.
If they want to talk to any of you, we'll go with you.
Now he said, if they want to talk to any of you, we'll go with you. Who are we? The Nation of Islam. So Kyrie Irving did not confess to be a Muslim or a member of, the Nation of Islam. He did not confess that. He didn't confess to even being a Jew, right? I think he did actually inside one of his other videos. Um, but Kyrie, is believes, right, that his that he is Israelite, and he's correct, and so do Ye or Ye, whatever you call him. So do Ye, right? Now, now, why would the Nation of Islam go with Kyrie or Ye and sit down with these these European wannabe Jews, right? Why would the Nation of Islam and Farrakhan come with them? Like I said, they're not confessing to be Muslims. They're confessing to be Israelites. So, and he did not. Kyrie did not watch a Nation of Islam documentary, right? That was created by the Nation of Islam. He watched a documentary that was created by uh Israelite by the name of Ronald Dalton Jr. So, if anybody who's going to sit with these European wannabe Jews, if they were to invite Kyrie or Ye for a sit down, then they should be sitting down with Ronald Dalton Jr., Kyrie, and Ye, and some other Israelite brothers um, who are well studied and who can bring out the factual information, the DNA, the historical proof, the biblical proof, and sit down and also the other side, the European wannabe Jews, they can bring out any information that they have because and prove who they are. If they say that they are the European Jews, then prove it. If they say that they're the tribe of Judah, then prove it. Because it has not been proven, if you ask me. And so this has nothing to do with the Nation of Islam. So I don't believe Farrakhan should insert himself or his nation, you know, to into any business dealing with uh, blacks being Jews or Israelites because he's of the Nation of Islam, which believes that black people are Muslims. Now I heard him say that black people are Jews as well in the video. So my question to Farrakhan is, which one are you? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Jew? Are you a Jewish Muslim? If there is such a thing, which I don't I don't think there is. So what are you? And why are you concerning yourself with Israelite business? Now you are Israelite by birth, but your religious belief is of the Muslim faith. And the Muslim faith and the Israelite faith do not believe in the same thing. I don't pray to no Allah. I believe that the Son of the Most High is the Messiah. You guys do not believe, the Nation of Islam does not believe that the Son of the Most High is the Messiah. They believe him only to be a prophet, and that's a problem. Just like I have a problem with Israelite brothers who don't believe in the Messiah. Kind of like these, they believe the same thing that these fake wannabe Jews believe, that they don't believe in the Messiah. And I have a problem with them too. We do not believe in the same faith because we believe in the Messiah as the Son of the Most High, and you guys don't. So um, but yeah, Farrakhan does not speak for all quote unquote black people. He does not. He only speaks for him and his nation, and and he should keep it like that. All right. Um, I want to fast. Well, let's keep it going.
You bring your rabbis. You bring your scholars. And I told him when we look at our book that we wrote, we only quoted your scholars, your historians, your.
Okay, but Farrakhan, your book is not being questioned here. The book that's being questioned here is Hebrews to Negroes, which was a book first and then became a documentary. Your book was questioned in the past, and you had your chance to sit down, as you stated earlier in this speech that you gave. You stated earlier that you had to sit down with uh, these wannabe Jewish rabbis, and they did not agree with what you said, and you didn't agree. You didn't agree with what they said. So you had your chance. What's being questioned here is the documentary that was written by Ronald Dalton Jr. So Ronald Dalton Jr. should be the one who can defend his documentary, and these wannabe Jews, European wannabe Jews, can bring whatever information and defend who they are.
Rabbis. So when they asked me to condemn our book, I said, oh, if it's all lies, I certainly will condemn it. But we only quoted your people. So when you come out and call everyone that we quoted a liar and an anti-Semite, all right, then I'll condemn the book. But you're not going to do that. When I told you at the end, I want to be your friend, that's why I'm sitting in your house.
Now, another thing I have a problem with what he said. He said he told them, the European wannabe Jews, that he wanted to be their friends. Why would you want to be a friend of a group of people who is known, to enslave your people, right? Um, they're known all around the world for killing, mass murdering people. Look what they're doing to the Muslims, right, in Israel. Who is known for being for stealing, robbing, killing, and I take it that you want to be their friend, right? Because of all the money that they have, and you want to do business with them, right? Just like Ye or Ye was, made a billionaire by them. I guess you want to be a billionaire too. I don't know. This is my assumptions, right? Why else would you want to sit down at the table with them and be friends, right? Um, the scripture says, how can two walk together unless they be in agreement? And so, and it also said, don't even let somebody of another doctrine into your home. These people are of another doctrine or teaching. We do not agree on, you know, who they are. They don't agree on who we are. No, actually they do. I talked to tons of Russian wannabe Jews, and they know that they converted into Judaism and that the real Jews are black, so they know this. But they don't agree, they know that we know the truth and we're speaking out the truth. So why would they want, to be friends, with you? Or why would I want to be friends with them when I'm trying to expose them, right? And wake my people up and bring down their kingdom. So and we're praying and pushing forth for a righteous kingdom to be set up by the Messiah, right? When he does return. So, why so I think I know why is because, you know, in my assumption, I think that, the Nation of Islam or the leader, which is you, is all about, the money and about using your black people, for your comfort. You're sitting up in a big mansion, not the brothers that's selling bean pies on the avenues, right? They're not sitting up in a mansion. They're not in thousands of dollars, $1,000 worth of suits and stuff like that. So, this would be for your benefit. But let's continue.
eating your food and inviting you to my house, and we prepared food for you. I would like to get along with you. And so would Ye, and so would Kyrie, but you can't abuse them because you promised them wealth and nearness to white power. I'd like to close this little talk. You should be desirous of making peace with us.
All right, so I think that's it of this video. Move on to the next video, which is Kyrie Irving, right? And he was. Let's move on to this video. Let me change. Here we go. Let's hear what Kyrie Irving had to say when he addressed his people. Now I'm going to, stop it at times and explain the problem I have with what he said. I'm gonna try and put it on. He doesn't talk as slow as Farrakhan, so I might not have to put it. I'll speed up a little bit. Let me see. I don't even want to be here. I don't want to listen to the whole thing.
It's gonna be enough. Yo, peace to each one of y'all. Sending my prayers up to the Creator, to our ancestors for healing. We all need it about now. They call this the Lord's Day in certain religions, certain parts of our society. So I'm gonna pay my respect and my homage. But shoot, what do I have to tell y'all? Y'all making me forget. Nah, I'm joking. No, I'm just trolling y'all. But shoot, I gotta share something with y'all. It ain't no bad news or anything like that. It's just reality, right? And I'm asking y'all from my soul to yours. Please do not get distracted out here. Please do not fall victim to what the system is putting out there. It's a lot of misinformation. It's a lot of trauma going around. It's a whole lot happening in our world, and the system wants you to be depressed. Wants you to be in a state of being that is low vibrational. All right. It's um it's a change and it's a shift in what's going on in our world right now. And I'm letting you know, I'm not being arrogant or anything like that, but from 1981 to 1996, this millennial generation, I hope y'all know, we're here to shake some we're here to shake some stuff up. But in order to shake some stuff up, right? And
So you comment about that. So you said this millennial generation is here to shake stuff up. If you look in the past, every generation had, if you study, uh, every generation had their truths, right? Some truth that was exposed at that time. I know Israelites from that are a part of Generation X, generation, which is right before generation, the millennial generation, which is Y. Um, and then you had the baby boomer generation, which before Generation X. They even in their time they got, I know Israelites from that time who are born baby boomers who was exposing that these Russian uh so-called Jews are not the real Jews, and that black people are the real Jews. So I even you did if you do the research on Google, you can look up a slave by the name of Gabriel, you know, um, who was stating that the blacks, the slaves in his time were the Israelites, right? According to the Bible. So, the Most High had raised up people in every generation, raised up Israelites to speak out, and coming to know who they are, right? And coming to know that these white people, who claim to be Jews are not. So, I Kyrie is wrong in that, right? It's not just a millennial and the next generation, which is Generation Z, which is after the millennials, and Generation Alpha, which is the little kids right now, the young ones. They the Most High is gonna raise them up as well. It's gonna raise up some people in that generation as well to stand up against any false information or enemies of their time.
the next generation, Gen Z, is going to come right after, so they're watching us, right? And you got my kids' generation, which is very young. But I got on here to say this: please do not get distracted out here, emotionally, spiritually, because the system itself is, it is dying. It is dying. Old ways of living, the old ways of doing things. It's not going to last for too much longer, y'all. I'm just saying. And I don't know anything, right? I don't know all the answers to what's going on, but I'm saying this to y'all specifically because it's important that those that understand that are aligned and what's going on around here, that y'all paying attention, because without us making a change right now and shifting our consciousness, our kids they're gonna fall victim to the system too. And the system I'm talking about it's a myriad of objective topics that we follow since we were kids, which is sex, love, relationships, religion, culture, class, finance, entertainment, media, social platforms at this point. Please do not fall victim to these things that are being manipulated and controlled. Please do not. Please do not. We have so many truth tellers out here that are doing the right things. Um, you know, and I could point them out, but you have to have your own level of discernment once you're.
And everything that he just named, he just ran down. All those industries are controlled by, these fake Russian wannabe Jews. So, you know, and that's another thing. It's ran by them, and this is the reason why. This is one of the reasons why Hitler wanted to kick them out of Germany, and probably did what he did. And part of why he did what he did is because they were also trying to bring down um, uh, his nation, his country. Not only were they doing deals with other nations, during World War One, behind Germany's back. But in order for them to get their hands on Israel, right, they look up the Balfour Declaration, and you'll find out more about that. Um, um, they were also, using the different industries, controlling the different industries in Germany, and corrupting, you know, the youths and the people and the women and stuff like that, in Germany, just like what they're doing today with all their filthiness, the wicked music, and the inappropriate, sexual acts and stuff like that, you know. But anyway,
Consciously awaken to what's really going on. And I could go on and on, but look, I have to speak in general topics because it gets too mixy. You know what I'm saying? But I hopped on here specifically to share something with y'all. My generation, the millennial generation, we got to be better. We got to be better. My millennial generation, we got to be better. We know too much of the truth. And sometimes that will put us in places where we're fearful or we have anxiety. And in order to make an impact out here that is generationally sound, where it lasts for not just one generation, but for 7 to 10 to 20 generations now, we have to break free mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to do it, but we have people out here that are willing to extend a helping hand and do it, you know? And I went live on this main page because I know that, some people are going to take this as, oh man, this guy's, what is he talking about now? This guy thinks he's, and it's like, it's not even about that. I don't even have energy to give that to, or to give to that today, or any point in my life. But I will tell you this, we got to be better. We have to protect our youth. We have to protect our ways of life. We have to protect the kids that are looking up to us. So my millennial generation, this is a call out to you. No, real talk. This is a shout out to you. The Gen Z's watching and our older generation is waiting for us to take control of the wheel and lead our world into new places, new ways of thinking, because it's not happening, without the proper techniques and strategies. It's not happening if we're not prepared. So, and I say my generation because millennial generation is because we help create a lot of these social platforms. We help create a lot of these trends. We help create a lot of these, new waves of doing things. Like, I'm not saying that arrogantly, but from 1981 to 1996 is specifically for y'all. Please, 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 please educate the youth the right way. Please, please, we are star seeds just like Gen Z is, just like our elders were. We are
that right there. He said we are star seeds. Back it up.
Educate the youth the right way. Please, please, we are star seeds just like Gen Z is, just like our elders were. We are star seeds. We returned here.
We returned here. Hold on.
For a bigger purpose that many people won't understand. And a lot of this.
You see, now, this is the problem I have, right? When people proclaim that they are Israelites, which is okay, you're supposed to know that, right? That's your nation, right? It's not a religion, it's a nation, right? The Israelite nation, we call ourselves Israelite because we come from our forefather named Israel. His original name was Jacob, but then it was changed by the Most High and to Israel. And so, his children became the 12, the 12 sons of Israel. Then we became the 12 tribes, right? Now, he said that we are star seeds. Now, I ran into a brother that was in the music industry, and he said that a woman who was a witch, right, who practiced astrology and witchcraft, said to him, because uh, he was able to accumulate a lot of money, and he was writing songs for like famous people, and I think he even also had a song himself, a video. Um, I'm not sure if he had it. Yeah, I think he said he might have had a deal, or he was just a writer for other people. I'm not too sure. Right. And he said that she called him a star seed, right? Because of his talents, his writing ability, singing ability, and the money that he was able to make. Uh, she called him a star seed. Now, and then he also said that she was into witchcraft and stuff like that. Um, you're not going to find star seed anywhere inside the scriptures, right? That's witchcraft. That's witch talk. We are not star seeds, you know. Um, and he said we return back to the earth. Okay, we didn't die and be reincarnation is when you live, you die, and you come back, right, as another person or animal, whatever. That's not supported by the Bible either. So you know he's recognizing that he is an Israelite, okay, but he doesn't have understanding on on you know or maybe he does have understanding, but he's not following the belief system of the Israelites, right? That you can read about in the scriptures. The Messiah, who the world wrongfully called Jesus, right? And actually, his name is Joseph in English. I mean Joshua in English. Um, he did not say anything about star seeds. We are not star seeds. We are children of Israel, right? And a person only dies once. You cannot come back and die twice. You you know, uh, yeah. So let's just leave it like that. We're not star seeds. That's New Age witchcraft talk being mixed in with knowing that you're an Israelite and stuff like that. Let's leave that out. This is why I say, as when you come into knowing that you're an Israelite, you know, don't. There's many people out here who know they're Israelites, kind of like Farrakhan, who knows he's an Israelite, right? But then he's in the Muslim faith. The Muslim faith is not the faith of Israelites, of the ancient Israelites, right? Our ancestors. So, you come to know you're Israelite, but then you get caught up in these other belief systems. And basically, you know, you can still know you're Israelite and go to hell. There's tons of Israelites that you can read about in the Bible who worshipped other gods and served idols and went to hell, right? So, I want to say that it's not enough for us. It's a beginning. It's a start to know that you're an Israelite. But now you got to know the scriptures. You got to know your history. You got to know what did your ancestors, the prophets, the disciples, what did they believe? What did the Messiah say? What are the commandments? The go back to the Torah, the first five books of Moses, which is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Inside Exodus, it talks about the commandments that was given to the Israelites, the book of the law. Leviticus, it tells you about the commandments for the Israelites and also the Levites when they're supposed to do ceremonial things for in the temple that was built, that was spoken about in Exodus, the building of the temple and how we worship the Most High. And then you understand what the prophets prophesied about that was going to happen in the future, that the Messiah was going to come, the Savior is going to come, right? And once the Savior come, what do? We follow the Savior, the Son of the Most High, who was here to redeem us because our sins. We sinned. We broke His commandments, and the blood of animals cannot suffice. Was not enough for the Most High for us to be for us to settle our debt with the Most High. He needed, you know, it has to be the sinless, the pure blood of of uh, the Son of the Most High, a sinless man of who came through the Israelite nation, needed to needed to give his life, so that ours can be spared, right? And so, and once he did that, you know, he said, things have changed. The priesthood changed. During the time of Moses and the prophets, it was the Levitical priesthood. But even before the Levitical priesthood, there was a priesthood called the Melchizedek priesthood. And now that priesthood has come back once the Messiah died and the veil in the temple was rent. And now the Messiah is the high priest. There's no more priest tribe called the Levites. The whole 12 tribes are priests in this new Jerusalem, new kingdom that is to come. That's why the Messiah was saying, the kingdom is at hand. Repent of your sins, because there's a kingdom that's coming. So, there's commandments for that kingdom, right? Some of the commandments that we read about inside the Torah, inside Exodus and Leviticus, some of those come in Deuteronomy and in Numbers, some of those commandments are not valid. Some are. Most of them are. Even under this new priesthood. So, he has to understand the priesthood. You have to understand these commandments. You got to understand, read about the kings and know your history as far as these kings, not only King David and King Solomon. What about these other kings? There's a lot of things. What are the commandments that changed from the beginning to the New Testament, from the Old Testament to the New Testament? What are the commandments that changed? Right? No more lamb and goat sacrifices for sin. The Messiah was the sacrifice for sin, so we don't need to do no more sacrifices for sin, right? But examples like that. Now you have to get into the scriptures, not get into witchcraft and all this other stuff, and then try to fuse that with knowing that you're an Israelite. Because knowing you're Israelite is not going to get you into the kingdom. But let's go on.
Instagram live will go over people's heads, but that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody's gonna get the fight. Not everybody's gonna get into the war. Not everybody's fearless out here. You know what I'm saying? I'll be more specific when I say this. I'm getting a lot of wisdom from the elders, and they're telling me that this generation that I'm in, and I'm talking about born from 1981 to 1996, that
he says he's getting a lot of wisdom from the elders. I would like to know what elders. Who are the elders? And who are these elders he's referencing? And are these the people who is telling him that he's a star seed? That's a problem, because also, you're going against a powerful group of people that the Most High has given a lot of power to and influence and money. They can kill you just by the snap of their finger. So you will want the protection of the Most High with you. And getting into star seeds and astrology, and I even seen a video of him burning sage on a basketball court. Getting into that type of stuff. Burning sage is witchcraft. I'll do a video on that. People think is warding off evil spirits, but actually is actually attracting them, because it's witchcraft, and it doesn't ward off evil spirits. That's what these witches are tricking you into believing. But anyway, I see you doing these things and not knowing that, you're doing things that's not of the Most High. So you could be wearing thin any protection that is around you from the Most High. But anyway,
we don't get our stuff together and start making a conscious effort to change the ways of living out here, we'll be doomed. If we keep living the same lifestyle that we looked at when we were kids and saw, like, oh, this is popping, oh, this is one of the people I need to follow. Like, think about social media in general. Like, you guys we're just following. I say you guys, no, we are just following people. We're just following people. That is a level of influence that can be dangerous if it's not poured in the right places. And I woke up with this on my spirit because I had to let it off. This was what was called to me this morning. I don't know what exactly, but this is what has been called for me to share with you guys. The elder generation is saying it's time to wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm not going to tell y'all what to do. I'm not going to tell y'all how to live, what to think, but our millennial generation, this is specifically being accountable for us. We can't try to force our thoughts and our ways on anybody else, but we have to know that the right way is already in us. Feel me? That's why you have to be rooted and grounded in who you are. I'll tell you this. This is my last thing before I hop off live. I wake up every single day knowing that my skin color is something that is hated on. My culture is something that has been pushed underneath the rug. They're now changing history to be forgotten about. And that's why I'm saying this generation, this millennial generation, specifically us, if we allow them to cover up all the history and all the things that have happened to our human race and what has been done, we will be doomed. That's all I'm saying. So all the young kids that may not understand it yet, that's fine. You're going to come into this. But to my generation, be better. Be better. Do not get distracted out here. Do not get to a place where you're stagnant. We have a lot of entrepreneurs. We have crypto. We have NFTs. We've redefined art. We have the metaverse coming. We have all these great things coming. You know what I mean? But still, when chaos happens and trauma happens, we revert back to our old ways. They're trying to do everything possible in order to keep us in a low vibrational state. A low vibrational state. If you don't know what low vibrational state of being is, please go look it up. But I'm specifically talking to my generation right now that if we do not teach our kids the truth of this world and what has happened and what has taken place, it will be lost in history. We will be lost. We will be the generation that's lost in history. Black, white, red, yellow, no matter what color you are, there has been some type of part of your history or our human history that has been erased for purposes that go way beyond our understanding. And I won't tell you that I know everything. I know nothing, right? I know nothing. I'm just a star in the universe. But what I do,
just a star in the universe. Bro, you're not a star in the universe. You're a human on the earth, man. You know, you didn't come from no star in the universe. The Most High is not a star. You know, he's the creator, self-created, almighty. So, you don't come from a star in the universe, man.
I do know is when I'm called to share things and I pop out like this is for intention that goes way beyond.
The star in the universe, like I said, that's witchcraft talk. It's not of the Israelite faith, right? So I can definitely tell you didn't agree with everything inside that documentary if you're talking like that. Yeah.
You know, what I can understand physically at times. I understand, spiritually, but don't understand it physically and why I'm put in certain places, but and it's all. But look, I'm in my point here. So my generation into the older generation, we must bridge the gap. And it's happening now, but we must do it faster. We must do it faster. It's not happening. It's not happening. And the reason why I say it's not happening quick enough is because we had generations come before us and we're still doing the same ish. The same traumatic events are happening in our world. You know what I mean? We had a whole entire shooting in Buffalo and there's no more news coverage anymore on the families. There's nothing. We had people of color die in Buffalo and things took place that still limited the exposure in the coverage because it was based off of pure hatred and it was an act of terrorism and we won't call it that. I'm just telling y'all the truth right here because when I say that my generation and the older generation has to bridge the gap, it's because our kids are watching everything that we do. They're watching everything that we do. You know what I'm saying? The kids are watching everything that we do.
All right, I'm gonna cut it right there. I'm gonna move on to the next video, which is this brother named O'Shea Duke Jackson, and yeah, his channel is called The Celebrity Junk, or he has another channel called I guess called O'Shea Duke Jackson. But he commented on like I said, why LeBron James turned his back on Kyrie Irving, right? And he said some things which I don't really agree with, but let's get into it.
O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. You know, brothers, it is a few people I have noticed in the last few years that you just cannot talk about on social media. All right? I'm talking about in black social media. And one of the people, I know, like Beyonce is one. I mean, they come for you, talk about her. But another one is LeBron James. LeBron James has fans that some folks call bronze sexuals, okay? And I know that that's true. His brother Randy Booker, who used to be RB The Breakthrough, whenever he would give any unique criticism of LeBron James, man, people come after him. He's now known as RB. So people, white, black, otherwise, they're coming after you. All right? Just after you. Now, I don't want to talk about this. This is important. LeBron gets so much respect. He's a billionaire, and obviously he has a lot to say about the black community, and I like it about LeBron. But now Kyrie shared something that had some information that said, the documentary Hebrews to Negroes. Now Kyrie Irving said he was typing in his name on Google and wanted to know what the name meant. And it brought him to this documentary, which he bought. He shared the documentary. Now let me just say this. Kyrie Irving didn't say anything about Jewish people in that particular video or sharing. He didn't say anything about any of that stuff. But ultimately, you got to say he was promoting that clip, right? You got to say that. The reason why we got to say he was promoting it is because he shared it. Now, he did not apologize for the liking of the Jewish community. He even tried to make a contribution to the Defamation League, ADL. They rejected that. And of course, he lost his Nike deal. And then he lost 5 games worth of the NBA. It possibly could be more if he doesn't reconcile. All right. So LeBron, who is y'all's favorite person in the world, I want you to hear what LeBron had to say about Kyrie Irving.
LeBron is being canceled, and it has nothing to do with basketball. Last night, the media interviewed LeBron and put him in one of the worst situations he can possibly be in. They asked him about his opinion regarding the situation with Kyrie Irving. And LeBron said this. He said he doesn't stand with Kyrie at all. And he felt like Kyrie sharing that link from Amazon or sharing that from Amazon was sending hate towards people. And he also said he even got rid of an episode on The Shop that had something to do with Kanye because he didn't want to spread hate or send hate. And that got people pissed. It's a huge war going on with this situation with Kyrie Irving. And a lot of people feel like Kyrie Irving didn't do anything wrong. They felt like he didn't send any hate towards anybody for simply sharing a link. And he didn't say anything. Now, people is taking matters into their own hands. And I have never in my life seen people say this or send this type of hate towards LeBron. A lot of people's frustration is coming from the fact that LeBron once was all Black Lives Matter. And they feel like right now one of his brothers, which is Kyrie Irving, is at war with the entire race of people or a entire religion or Jews, whatever y'all want to call it. And they felt like LeBron should have stood up for him. And when LeBron was put in position to stand up for a Black person, he didn't. So this is where all the anger is coming from. And people is literally canceling any Black person that's not standing up for their people at this point. So it's an entire war going on.
So now, you heard that guy, right? Listen, this is what I want to talk to you brothers about. Some of you brothers are not going to believe what I'm going to say, all right? But I watched...
Nope. Not going to believe what you're going to say. So when I heard it, I was kind of mad. Because I liked you. But, like I said, I'm going to explain. I'm going to let you say it first, then I'll respond.
How they asked Kevin Durant about what he felt about Kyrie's situation. Kevin Durant looked so afraid to reply. He didn't know what to say. You think that these brothers don't know what's up behind the scenes? Of course. Well, let me tell you this. LeBron got to come out here and get in front of this. I know what y'all looking for. Y'all looking for LeBron to come out and step up and stand up, right? So he can get suspended also. Okay? I'm trying to give you brothers some understanding here. You want LeBron to come out, speak up against the system, then he gets suspended. Got it.
We don't want LeBron to stand up and speak out so that he can get suspended. That's not what we're calling for. We're calling for, for if you believe, we're calling for LeBron James and these other ball players, right, who know Kyrie Irving, who calls him his friend or their friends. Their friend, who, calls him their brother, who are of the same nation as him. And if you believe, matter of fact, my problem is not even with LeBron James. It's more so with because with LeBron James, it's like, okay, you all right. LeBron James didn't put out. He didn't. If he knows this information, right, that he's a Israelite, and he didn't want to let that information, he didn't want to put out that type of information. The problem I had was that he just distanced, he basically distanced himself from Kyrie Irving. He didn't stay neutral, right? He totally went the side of these Russian wannabe Jews, right? So he basically threw his brother you know, he left his brother high and dry, right? You could have just took a neutral stance and said, you know what, I'm not going to address this matter. Even with Kanye West, he didn't, you know, if you agreed with what Kanye West was saying, then stand up and be a man. If you don't agree with it, then well, Kanye's a different is a different because he can say that okay, black people are the real Jews, but then he goes off and say something else that's wild and crazy that you probably can't get around. Probably can't get with, right? So you know, Kanye, yeah, I guess is a different thing, but Kyrie, he just tweeted a documentary. He could have easily just took a neutral stance and said no comment. I'm not going against him. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to stand with him, but I'm not going against him. And he's his own man. Don't ask me to come into this. Point blank, simple. He didn't have to take, you know, offense or, against him, or, you didn't have to basically distance himself from Kyrie Irving. He could have just said, I'm not going to take any position on this, or or stand up or stand up for him, stand up with him. Um, but then, so yeah, I mean, or just came out, or he could have, he could have came out and said that, he tweeted a documentary. He didn't say whether he, you know, believed everything in it or he didn't uh, when it first came out, when everybody first found out about it. He didn't say he believed or disbelieved anything, until he did that press release, and then he admitted that he didn't believe some of the stuff that was in it. But he didn't say, okay, like like it stated, he didn't say the things inside the documentary, but someone else. So, he could have just left it as, my brother, he tweeted a documentary, and that was that. You didn't have to go against. Basically, what I'm trying to say, LeBron James didn't have to go against Kyrie, right?
I don't know how that would work out. He is in charge of the Players League. He would have, but the thing about it is, LeBron is worth $1 billion. LeBron has projects in the black community. LeBron, he's paying another way. I understand why y'all don't think it's cool. I understand why LeBron got in front of it like that. Because he don't have that much of a choice. Because see, here's what I want to talk about. I'm listening to a lot of brothers out here saying things. Yeah, these black men need to step up. We need to step up. How you gonna step up when your money is tied up in the folks who pay you? You don't own no infrastructure outside of them. Clearly, we started with Kanye. I hear a lot of folks, Boys Watkins doing it, and yeah, we stepping up. And guess what? Those are the same people who are afraid to even use the word Jew or Jewish on their platform.
All right, so he's saying that they're scared to step up because their money is tied up with these people, right? These fake European Jews, right? Fake Russian Jews. Okay, so you might lose some of the money, that you have because these guys are paying a lot of money or putting a lot of money in your pockets. But I like what Russell Simmons said. Russell Simmons did a video and he gave his piece or his thoughts on Kanye, you know, losing his deal with Nike and Adidas and stuff like I think Adidas, right? Um, he said that Kanye, and he mentioned something profound, right? He said that there would be other manufacturers that Kanye could do business with. He doesn't have to do business with he doesn't have to suffer. He can there's other manufacturers that want his money, right? That he can strike deals with and continue to have these other manufacturers created sneakers. Um, and he could. I believe there's probably some manufacturers out here who wouldn't mind doing business with Kanye. Now the thing is, a lot of people don't want to put in the work, to make these connections and do these deals. But I don't believe, that's that, that Kanye is that type of person. But anyway, same thing with Kyrie, right? With LeBron James. These multi-millionaires. LeBron James is a billionaire, right? You lose your money, you can still, you know, you can what are the options, right? You can lower your lifestyle, right? You can lower your um what's the word for that? Your the style of your life. You don't have to have houses all over the world. You don't have to have, you know, uh all these fancy cars and stuff like that, right? Until you so you can save, money and able to put some money into, investments. You can pay down your debt. You can put money into investments. There's there's business owners out here who are totally self-sufficient, right? Look at Dave Ramsey, right? Who who doesn't have outside investors invested in his company. It's completely owned by him, right? Now he may partner up and do some things with, not partner up, but I know he is friends with the uh, fake European Russian Jewish community, right? I know he is friends with them, but okay, you might make angry some people, but you can totally be self-sufficient and still be a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. And and yes, you might lose your billionaire status for some time, but you can always build it back. You can put your money in also. I think is who was I listening to? I think I was listening to a YouTuber by the name of Pocket Watching with JT, and he mentioned, I think it might have been him who mentioned that Mitt Romney had over $100 million in retirement funds, right? In a retirement account. You know, you can these guys can retire and put their money in retirement accounts, and live off the interest for the rest of their lives and their family lives. You see, what's really stopping these people from uh going off and doing their own thing is greed, right? They want as much as they can get right now, right? They don't want to build it slowly, and or they probably just don't want to create these enemies or whatever it is. But to say that they cannot go off, all their money's tied up with these European uh, fake Jews, and that they have no options. I think that's a scarcity mindset. They have options, right? They can open up their own businesses. They can get their own manufacturing. They can put their money in investment accounts and in the market and have millions. Look at Warren Buffett, who has billions of dollars invested in the market, right? So these it's just going to take some learning on their end to learn about these different avenues of investing and businesses and stuff like that. And you know, but they it can be done. And then they will be able to speak out. Look at they will be able to speak out and say what they want. Hire your security and stuff like that, and have that around you. and they will be able to speak out and say what they want, call themselves Jews or whatever they want to call themselves, and believe whatever they want to believe.
Right here on YouTube, which is owned by and ran by
a Jewish
a Jewish
CEO.
CEO.
But you want other people to do it. But you don't have no infrastructure. Once somebody come out and say that, let me tell you like this, brothers. Y'all not like this, but let me tell you something like this. When some of y'all have radical ideas and you want to jump out there in front of the gun, look at how hard you make everybody else's life. I'm not saying that Kyrie Irving is not right, but you got to understand what cascade you are doing when you don't have infrastructure. Because guess what? You don't own anything like they do. You can be right all you want.
Hold on. Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Look at Kyrie Irving's arm. What tattoo is that on his arm? That's a tattoo of, I believe that's an Indian or a Muslim symbol of a hand. And I think that belongs to the nation, not Nation Islam. That belongs to the Muslim religion, or the European or East Indian, whatever that Indian nation, country in India. I got to look that up. And because if he got that tatted on his arm, then that tells me that this dude is in some crazy type of wickedness, some idolatry shit, stuff, and this guy's all over the place, man. You calling yourself an Israelite, but then you got this tatted on your arm. What is it called? The something hand. Let me see. What's this hand? I gotta look this up again. Let me see something. Hand, religious hand tattoo. Let me just type that in. Whatever. It's gonna, okay, the eye. Religious hand. Let's type that. Ooh, let's see what comes up. Let me see if I can find it, because that's a part of some religion. I think it might be called the mystic hand or something like that. I don't know, sacred. Here we go. What the freak is this thing? Tattoo, right? Let me see. Watching an orange black piece tattoo. What is this thing? What is this called? I don't even want to say it, because I don't know what the heck I'm saying. I don't like. I think that might be the name right here. Let me look it up somewhere else. Okay, what is the meaning of this thing? What does the hamster tattoo symbolize? The hamster tattoo symbolizes the hand of God. Oh yeah, please knock it off, man. With the all-seeing eye inside of it. This is some satanic wickedness, man. They are believed to bring their weavers, okay, happiness. Get the freak out of here. Luck, health, and good fortune. Oh my gosh. The use of the traditional hamster design can be traced back thousands of years, with its first known use discovered in artifacts with the ancient civilization of Mesopotamia and Phoenicia. Within the ancient civilization of Mesopotamia and Phoenicia, the Phoenicians. Well, we know inside the Mesopotamia, you had the Canaanites. This is not of the Most High. This is of some black nation that was worshiping idolatry. Because you don't see nothing like this inside the scriptures. Yeah. So let me see. The hamster is a palm-shaped amulet popular throughout the North Africa and in Middle East, and commonly used in jewelry and wall hangings. This guy, man, got this stupidness tatted on his man. This is disappointing, man. Disappointing. But hold on, I'm gonna take a picture of this 'cause I gotta show certain people this. But yeah, so let's continue.
Say that all you want. Hebrew, cool. What do you want? What do your people own? Do your people even have the heart to want to own? Now we're getting back to the Booker T. Washington Carolina Compromise.
What do our people own? Our people own restaurants. Our people own all types of businesses, construction businesses. There's we are in so many different type of businesses that are all black owned without no Jewish involvement, no wannabe fake Jews involved inside the businesses. So our people our people are own a lot of stuff. Stop with the scarcity mindset.
Right? In the big debate, WEB boys didn't like what Booker T. Washington was saying. Listen, we won't even get involved with the voting. We'll get involved and keep farming and keep building our people up, and then one day we'll be able to have the money that we need. I'm more like Booker T. Because you can get all these people riled up in revolution and come back and all y'all fired, you ain't got no jobs. You don't own no companies. Your people don't know how to work together.
That's a lie. Okay, that's a lie. You can get your people fired up. You can stand out there and be a man, and stand against these fake European Jews, and yes, you're gonna lose the business that you was doing with them. But just like Kanye did, Kanye go completely broke? No, he went down to about 400 million dollars. Right. Anybody in if anybody who comes on, y'all got something to say and y'all want to come on the platform, you can come on the platform. Let me see my private photos here. What the heck is that? But yeah, so if there's anybody else, let me see. Let me just write this real quick. If you want to join the conversation, click the link. Let me drop the link. One second. Copy this. The link. Oh no, my fault. Paste. Put the link in there. Oh, that's added to the show. Yeah, but let's get back to this. But yeah.
And what Kyrie Irving with this cascade, him and Kanye, and then want these black men to come out here and follow them. What's the end result? What's the goal? So if they come out here and agree with this, then what do you get? I can tell you what you don't get nothing. You still don't own. You still got an 81% single mother rate in Black America, and after that, you'll go back to being in control.
So that's all false. That's all false. You can speak out against these guys, and like I said, branch off, do your own thing. The thing is, and black people will support. Black people will support. The thing is about black people, if your stuff is good enough, we will support. If your stuff is trash, we won't support. So you just got to make your stuff good enough, and black people will support black businesses. I support black businesses all the time. And there's black businesses that have been in business for decades.
So I see why LeBron got to get out in front of it. And on the back end, look, bro, I had to say that. Y'all think LeBron is a buster? I don't think so. Because you got to do what you got to do until you can do better. Our people are in a bad position. We don't need to be going back and forth with any of these communities right now when we don't have the same culture that they have. We don't have a culture that we abide by like they do.
The reason why we don't have a culture is because we're not going back and forth with these communities, because our people are being employed by these people of these other communities. So if they do exactly opposite of what you're saying, and they go off and branch off and do their own thing, and use their money to create their own businesses, then our community can start to rival their community, right? There's you have black owned banks. You can look it up. We have black owned banks that we can bank with or whatever. I don't want to hear that we can't do our own thing. You in the past, you had Tulsa, Oklahoma, you had Black Wall Street, you had all these, you know, so where black people were self sufficient. Now, I'm not saying for us to be totally self sufficient, right? As far as like having a piece of land where we're living on our own, no white people allowed and stuff like that. No, but black people can choose not to be employed by Europeans, and those who are black with money, they can branch off and do their own thing and employ their own people. It's all possible. Or if you don't want to, or you can be an investor and just invest in the market and invest in real estate or whatever. And you know like if you don't want to do a huge business, this what I'm trying to say, there's tons of options. It's just that probably for a time being that they might not want to lose the net worth that they have, because why? They're in a group of people who worship money, and they say, listen, oh, I'm richer than you, or I'm richer than you. You don't have as much money as me. So this whole thing of keeping up with the Joneses is going to kick in. But like Farrakhan said, it has to be a time where people are just going to say, you know what, I don't care about the money like that, or I cherish you know having some self respect and not being you know uh not being it's worse than being a pawn, but not being treated like these these fake European Jews, like you're our boy, you're our guy, or whatever. Stop being this subservient position to these white people. Stop being happy with the position that they're putting you in. And kind of like what Dame Dash said, be your own boss. Don't do what Jay-Z did, which was be the executive for of a company that was being controlled by these fake European Jews. But anyway,
that we support each other. We have business that we go. We be the same people complaining about them, and we will walk right past a black business and won't help them. We will never try to help our people in a lot of folks, some of us, in the struggle, just by trying to even respect black people doing things in our community. We're too busy beefing with Africa, beefing with Nigerian Americans, beefing with the East Coast, West Coast, whatever it is, right? And y'all expect this man who got people depending on him, whole schools, people he's donating money to get out in front of that? LeBron is trying to help black people and black kids get ahead with what he's doing. Like,
okay, LeBron is trying to help black people and black kids to get ahead because he got these black schools that he has to take care of, right? Okay, these children, black children inside these schools, are going to grow up to just be like him, and they're going to be the little underlings for the little these little puppets for the fake white Jews. They're gonna grow up to be sellouts like him. They're gonna grow up to throw their own people on the bus like him. They're gonna grow up to kiss the butt of these European, fake white Jews, and 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 say, forget about my, being loyal to the people of my own nation. That's what he's going to teach these kids to do. So how is that helping our problem? If anything, that's making our problem worse. By him, parting his ways with these European white Jews and doing his own thing and being his own boss, you know, and trying to fund the school with all of his money, then he can teach these kids to be, especially the black ones, to be strong black, boys and girls, and to not bow down and kiss the ring, of these European white people. And he can show them how to be a strong black man, right?
How you still playing in the league? Help folks get free college tuition. And Kanye and Kyrie, their approach, although they're saying things that are true, in my opinion, it's the wrong approach because we don't have the power. Our people still in shambles. So if you go out there and you have that revolution, just like the Black Lives Matter, we have revolutions all the time. What happened after George Floyd? We went out there and did all that protesting. What did our people get? We come back and we get nothing. So when Dr. Umar and Boy's talking about, here we're going to do all the revolution for what? They still going to own the industries? After you do all the revolutions, you ain't going to own nothing. They still going to sign your checks and they still going to punish you.
Now, nobody says it's going to be easy. Yeah, you're going to have to battle, because you're becoming their competitors. You're not working for them anymore. And you're competing against them. Okay, so you're going to have to battle them. If you got enough money, like I said, there's black-owned banks. And yes, those banks have to bank with the Federal Reserve or whatever, right? Listen, they cannot take everybody down. They can't take everybody down. And it's just, these are the problems that you're just going to have to go through. You rather not fight them, but fight your brother. Me personally, I rather hold my dignity, make my money on my own, and not fight my brother, but try to get along with my brother and build with my brother, and and just go that way. It's not like it hasn't been done before. It's just that our black people are so tied, are so locked into thinking that this is the only way, and they're so scared to I mean, they when you think one way all the time, you think that you have no choices, but you do got choices. If you just take a breath, you breathe and think, there's other choices, there's other options there. But anyway.
So what's the point? You need to work with your people, get your people together, and you start donating to HBCUs. That's what I do every year. They didn't do it last year. This year, I'm getting back. I want to get my followers getting back to donating to HBCUs. Let's take care of the stuff that we own. Let's fix the problems. It's hard work. We are too.
Take care of HBCUs. From my understanding, HBCUs are not totally owned by black people or funded by black people. And these are organizations that are heavily connected to white secret societies. The Black Freemasons, which is the Prince Hall Masons, are connected to York Rite and Scottish Rite Freemasonry as well. If you know the history, that's how the black people got recognized as being Masons, because they used to be a part of the white one until Prince Hall created his own form of Freemasonry. I believe that's how the story goes. So, and these are breathing grounds for Prince Hall Freemasonry. But anyway, there's other universities and college that we can start. It may not be accredited, it may not be respected by these Europeans, but we don't need their respect. That's why we broke off. That's why we need to break off, but we don't want their respect. We want to teach and nurture and water our own. And then they come work within your organizations that's fully owned by you.
We're busy worried about other people and not worried about what we got to be doing. We have to have the Booker T approach, getting our people back to believing in this as a community, adding value for our people. Because when you get out there, you damage the other people who can help fund the people we want to raise up in the next generation. Be focused about being on our job with our community, taking care of the people in our community, the women that are eligible in the community, the kids in the community, and we do it by minding our own goddamn business and doing that. Those of y'all who want to see chaos and a war happen between these other groups, and you don't have no plan for where you're going to work tomorrow or where they're going to work tomorrow. Because we've been doing all kind of revolutions since the 60s, and black wealth has decreased, because we're so emotional. We're not thinking. We got to think.
No, it's not because we're emotional. It's because, it's our wealth is decreasing because your wealth is tied to their hands. And as soon as, even if you don't say anything, they still want to take you down because they don't want, that's just why they want to control your wealth, is because they don't want you to rise. Even if you was a good boy to them, a good house slave, right? They'll still take you down if you're getting too much and you're not kicking some of that back to them. Right? Anyway, you think you're safe inside their hands, like Farrakhan said. You think you're their friend, but you're not.
Black people. And LeBron had to get out in front of that. Because that's where we at. If we were in a better position of power, he wouldn't have to do that. But we're not. And a part of that is our own issue. We can fix ourselves overnight if we just start trying to come together, start trying to speak to each other, start trying to have some respect for each other. Let's improve our business. Then, once we improve ourselves, like the great Amos Wilson said, we can make a transition in the world. Amos Wilson said that.
No, you can't, because this is why you can't do too much for your own people anyway. If you're being paid by them, because they see everything that you're doing, and if you're doing something that's benefiting your people, especially a little bit too much, then they're gonna tell you to stop. And if you don't stop, they can do to you what they did to Bill Cosby and others, because they control you. If you can cut all ties to them, then they can't. They can still try and bring you into court over something, right? But like I said, it's going to be a battle. Either way, it's going to be a battle. If it's going to be a battle, I'd rather battle and be free in battle than be, talking to like a boy and treated like a little boy, and have no dignity, no self-respect. Anyway.
But if the black man doesn't want to change himself, because if we change us, we change them. We change how they treat us. But y'all don't want to do that hard work. Y'all want to go ahead and on Twitter battles and stuff. We got to change ourselves. If you don't want to change yourself, you're part of the problem. Change yourself. Change our community, and that's what we do. Then we force other people to respect us. But if we're not,
you're never going to gain their respect. You're never going to gain their respect. Even when you're being a good boy, you're not going against them. You're not gaining their respect. They still, in the Talmud, the book that these fake European Jews read from, called the Babylonian Talmud, it tells you that the Goy, the Gentile, anybody who's not of their nation, it says that you can treat them like nothing. It said like 1,000 of them is not worth more than a finger, the pinky finger on their hand or something like that. It tells you that black people, it says dark skin is a curse. It tells them that it's their Babylonian Talmud book is completely racist, and they will never respect you because it's in their religion not to respect you in their belief system. But you want to buddy with the people who who enslaved you, and it says inside their own text for them not to respect you but to disrespect you. That makes no sense.
Not gonna do that. We're always gonna be in bondage to other people. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson.
All right, guys. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. This went on a little bit too long for me. I'm tired. I'm trying to grow this channel past 100 subscribers. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe and hit the like, the like hand over there, and comment if you want. I'll try and dialogue with you guys in the comment section. But till next time, shalom.